Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah Lois. I am a licensed massage therapist out of Baltimore, Maryland. This episode, I will be going over the root chakra, what might be blocking it, and techniques for releasing the energy that gets stored there. The root chakra has 4 petals, and it is ruled by the planet of Mercury. The Sanskrit word for the root chakra is Muladhara, and it's all about creating stability, trust in one's life experience, and creating a sense of rootedness in the human experience. The root chakra is all about grounding and creating support and stability for oneself. This could mean financially or in regard to creating a strong network of friendships, relationships, creating a family, establishing a life structure that encourages support in achieving one's life purpose. As humans, we tend to go about our life experience very fast. We get pulled in all different directions. Our energy gets drawn to situations. Sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do, and we lose our ability to center ourselves and to ground down. We'll go to work and we have all these tasks to do, and we tend to really be caught up in our mind center. And grounding can be very important because it allows us the ability to trust in our life. I'm going to bring back the drawing that I did the other night, or morning, I guess you could say. The clock could have been 222 or 333. I commonly wake up at repeated digit numbers. So the root chakra is the lowest most point of the spine. It is a channel that's at the very base. Root lock. The root lock is a common tool that can be used to push energy up. You might have heard of the term Kegel before, which is used by a lot of physical therapists to teach their patients how to control their bladder. With Kegels, you squeeze the perineum, and it helps to contract that area, which inhibits the urine from coming out. This technique can be used to push energy up as well, and it is commonly used in yogic practices as a way to bring stagnant energy from the root chakra up into the higher channels. The root chakra region is known to store up a lot of our past and experiences we have from childhood. Since childhood is the beginning of our life experience, some of the situations that we encounter there have a major impact on establishing our root chakra and how the energy flows in that region. Many people in today's society have stagnant energy in the root chakra that began as early as childhood, where old situations and memories and past have remained dormant in the root chakra, and the energy has created a density in the region which is inhibiting people from moving their energy up into the higher chakras and allowing them to connect with their life experience in a more authentic way. So there are 2 primary energy occurrences that I can think of at this time that affect the root chakra. One being that there is a ton of old stagnant energy in the base of the spine from earlier experiences that has not been resolved, and the energy gets stuck in the area, which congests the root chakra and makes it hard for someone to utilize the higher chakras, the ones that can help us make really clear decisions, our center of the heart and our throat, communicating how we feel. And if these if these energies are stuck so deeply down and we're not drawing them up to our consciousness, then we're not able to resolve them. They're having an impact on our human experience, and we are not allowing them to pass through the other chakras and come to the surface, which prevents us from living our life to the fullest. We tend to allow our trauma to dictate our choices in life rather than using our intuition center and our heart to guide us in the directions that are most in alignment with what we have come here to do. In addition, the energy can be really highly congested up here when we are overthinking and we are unable to really feel like we're present and grounded in our experience. So there are ways to pull the energy up from the root chakra to the crown, pulling the energy from the higher chakras down into the root to feel more grounded. Many people in today's society have extremely tight hips. Hip flexors from sitting for long periods of time, the hip flexor, which is called the iliopsoas, a combination of two muscles, the iliacus and the psoas join together to make the iliopsoas, which usually shortens in length when people are in the sedentary position for long periods of time. When these muscles are wound up really tight, the fibers of the muscle contract into a more shortened position. The sarcomere, which are the contractile mechanism of the muscle, they end up becoming more shortened, and that tightens up the muscle in the region. So if the adductors and the iliacus, the psoas are really tight, the muscles are shortened, and they are now encapsulating the energy in the root chakra. So the energy is tightly bound by the muscles that are encompassing the region. Just a few things that could result in a locked root chakra where there's a lot of congested energy in the area. Unresolved trauma is one. Having inability to make good financial decisions to create stability in your life, that could block your chakra. Having not so good boundaries and allowing the wrong type of people into your life, which do not create a supportive environment for yourself, that can block your chakra. Being too much in your thoughts and not taking time to be with yourself and to be present, to experience your life in the moment that is occurring. Some really wonderful techniques for opening the root chakra. One I really like is fire gazing. With the candlelight meditation, I will usually place this on a surface, not hold it, so that way I can relax, but for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to hold it. And I will focus on the flame, watching it move, and sometimes it won't take much effort for me to channel into it, and sometimes there will be lots of thoughts that come up, and when they do come up, I will look at them, and basically it's kind of like if you're on a dating site, one that you can swipe. So the thoughts come up and you're like, nope, I don't want that one, swipe. Eventually you will tune into the energy of the fire, and at which point you and the fire are on the same wavelength, the same frequency, and you can begin to say things to it that you want to experience, such as, I am grounded, I'm secure, I trust, I am financially stable, and that's going to tell the rest of your body the effect that you're looking to experience. Your brain is sending signals to your cells to create that experience for you now. After you've spent 10 to 15 minutes looking at a candle, you will begin to see the light from the candle still, even if it's not lit any longer, even if you blew out the candle, you are still seeing the light of the candle in your vision. So it's kind of like when someone takes a picture and you still see like the flash. Basically, you're warming up the third eye point. You're heating up the third eye, decalcifying it. You're melting it from the tightness. You're opening up the mind's eye, which allows you to have greater control over your body and over the experience that you wish to have in your reality. Fire is a very grounding element, and it helps to take the thoughts and bring them into awareness, so you're not so scattered. When the energy in our mind's eye is all over the place, it's difficult to become grounded. If we are regarding the root chakra, in this case, you would stare at the candle and say out loud to yourself, I am grounded, I am secure, I trust my life experience, I have financial stability. And what's happening is you're saying these things, but the message is also being relayed to your body on a cellular level. You are addressing old thought patterns and creating new ones in your brain. And the messages are being sent via neurotransmitters to your body's cells, in order to reprogram how your human form interacts with your world experience. You can create groundedness and financial stability first with your mind. Your perception of your experience will create that reality outside of you. So if you're looking at your reality and you're making all these decisions about it, like, oh, I have no money, or I am not safe, then you are already establishing that belief in your mind. And that belief is reinforced by what you are bringing your attention to in your reality. On the contrary, if you are saying to yourself regularly, I am safe, I am grounded, I am making lots of money, I am secure, then you will change your auric field and you will magnetize situations that are in compatibility with your current resonance. Your vibrational field will bring about energies that are in alignment with your thoughts. And that's how you change the root chakra on a on a perceptive level. There are some wonderful crystals that can provide a grounding effect as well. And I'm going to go over a few that I like personally, that I have on hand. Aragonite is a nice option. You can see how it's quite dense in its structure, so it's a great container for deeper energies. You can place it in your palm and allow it to settle, and then once you have gotten present in the moment, you can't be scatterbrained when you meditate with crystals. If you allow yourself to become one with the moment and you focus on the energy in between the crystal and your palm, you can actually feel the vibration of the crystal. Think about the nervous tissue within the human body. The human body has the nerves, which have these ports called synapses. And with the synapse, you have two endpoints, and the connectors, the end of one nerve meets the beginning of a new nerve, and the synapse is created at that marrying. And with the synapse, the neurotransmitter is being exchanged from the first neuron to the second neuron. And that's how the vibration continues. It's the same idea. You have a dense grounding crystal in one hand, and you have a more vibrant, clearer crystal in the other. This is a Herkimer diamond. You can place one in each hand, close your eyes, and you can feel the difference in vibration if you are paying close attention. Anyone can do this, but in order to do it, you have to believe that it could be true. If your brain tells you that this is not possible, you're not going to be able to experience it because your beliefs are creating the reality that you're experiencing. So you close your eyes, and for me, this aragonite on my right is very, very dense. This one weighs more, but the energy in this one is denser, and it's bringing me into this place of comfort and feeling like a rooted tree, very dense and weighs heavy energetically. On the contrary, the Herkimer diamond, which is heavier in weight, is a very effervescent, bubbly type of experience. It's kind of like drinking champagne bubbles. It's that very lightweight energy is pulling up. I can feel it in my higher chakras, in my heart center and in my crown chakra. It's a very brightening energy. Pyrite is a nice option. This one is heart-shaped, which is lovely because it could be associated with the heart chakra as well, just by the shape. The brain sees a heart and it connects immediately to the heart chakra. I also have a garnet, and I think it has pyrite on the other side. I could be mistaken, but this is very heavy physically and also energetically. This one in particular, very grounding stone. So let's talk about meditation. What positions can you take with meditation? And what is most effective? What is most beneficial for you where you are currently? There are people that aren't able to sit in the Indian style position. It can be difficult to get comfortable if you don't have the range of motion to be in a position. For the purposes of this video, I will be showing you how to meditate in the seated position. It's often very good to have some sort of surface. For me, I have this seated cushion here. It's like a cushion stool. A lot of people have yoga cushions or meditation cushions. You can get them on Yoga Outlet or pretty much anywhere, Amazon, I'm sure. So you find a seat. The cushion gives you a little bit of leverage. If you are sitting flat on the ground, you end up kind of rounding forward a little bit. It's hard to have a very nice erect spine. And your options are you can cross your legs as such, or you can, if you have enough space, you can do a half lotus position where you have one leg below and then one leg on the top. The ankle is resting in the crease of your knee. And this is pretty comfortable for me because I've got the range of motion. Meditation, you don't want to slouch. The energy from the ground below you has a difficult time moving up into your consciousness if the spine is slouched, because it's the difference between having a C shape and having an I. Energy has more of a challenge to move in the curve of a C rather than moving straight up. It's easier, there's less restriction if the energy is moving this way as opposed to this way. So straight spine, chest is lifted, shoulders are back, and there are different ways you can place your hands. You can do palms face down if you want to feel grounded. This is a great way to bring energy down to you, to your vessel. If you want to bring your energy up, say you have a lot of energy in the root chakra that you want to rise, palms face up will help to do that. You can also make a prayer pose, or you can make a hand mudra such as this. With meditation, you close your eyes and you focus on that point in between your brow. It's called the third eye, or you could call it the mind's eye. Basically, you are staring into your pineal gland, and you are focusing on the energy there. Just focusing and bringing your attention to it will help to open it up and decalcify it. I will talk more about this in my video discussing the third eye chakra. So with meditation, you can draw the energy from the root, from the ground, up through the root to the higher chakras, which is basically pulling stagnant energies from the base to your consciousness. It can be quite intense, and that's why people get distracted during meditation, because their ego is trying to avoid feeling things that are not wanted or warranted, because the ego is trying to inhibit the individual from feeling things that are of extreme density. Oftentimes traumas that are stored within our body are hard to face, and we have this mechanism inside of ourselves that protects us called the ego, and a lot of times it takes control over our mind and our brain waves, so it will inhibit some of these feelings from coming up. And when that happens, it will often show as of a person thinking about random things to distract them from what they're doing. Oh, I need to take the trash out. Oh, I didn't feed my dog today. Or I forgot to call so-and-so. The ego is trying to inhibit you from experiencing things that bring about fear. Your body is constantly running from fear. But once you begin to face fear, you actually can harness the power of the unique individual that you are. Meditation will allow you to do this. Meditation can be very difficult, but with practice, you become much better at it. And it's just like anything. You don't go play baseball with the idea for the first time that you're going to be able to hit a home run. It takes lots of batting practice. It takes lots of technique adjustments and finding out which methods work best for you. Same with stretching. You don't go into a yoga class with full range of motion. You have to build up to it. It takes practice. If you're having difficulty with tuning into your meditation, you can also consider using a chant. For opening the root chakra, the vibrational chant is Lam. So if you say Lam and you let it vibrate on the lips, it will actually help to open up the lower chakra, the lowest chakra of the lower triangle. Another technique is you can physically open up the muscles by doing stretches to release the tightness and allow the energy to pass through. I will go over a few stretches that you can do to help open up the chakra to allow the energy to flow. So I'm gonna go over a few exercises, stretches, whatever you want to call them. If you don't like doing yoga, you can call them stretches instead. It's totally fine. I'm going to go over a few techniques that you can do to help open up the root chakra, to let the energy flow, to get more grounded, and to release some of the stagnancy that you might be storing in your body. As you can see, banjo's in the background, already demonstrating some things. A pose that you may already be acquainted with that is great for grounding is called child's pose. For this one, you can do it in two different ways. It's kind of like you are surrendering. I am not in control, I'm letting go of control, I'm surrendering to my experience. So for this position, you can start with knees together and slowly walk your hands out, allowing your arms to stretch, and then you can let your head rest on the mat. When your knees are together, you're going to feel it more in the low back. You can also try it with knees apart, in which case you're going to be opening up your hips more. This would be a little bit more effective for opening the root chakra because of the hip separation. Couple of pillows or a bolster and have less of a degree that you have to be downward, and rest your arms on the bolster for the stretch instead. You can place your forehead on the pillows. There's a slight distraction that happens at the third eye when you have your head resting on a bolster, which helps to open up your center of intuition while simultaneously grounding you. How beautiful. As stated before, the adductors and the iliopsoas are the muscles that close off the hips and really tighten everything down there, which makes it hard for the energy to flow through the root chakra. So I'm going to show you a few things that open up the hips as well. I'm going to show you 2 different variations. So for opening up the adductors, you can have one leg out and walk forward. That's going to help open up the groin area. Or you could have both legs out and walk forward. If it's difficult for you to be in this position without having support, you can place a pillow in front and rest like this, just allowing the legs to open. This is a very vulnerable position, and the reason being that we are so tight in the root is because people are afraid to be vulnerable. And the truth is, to be vulnerable is to deeply connect and reap the benefits of this worldly experience. I want to stretch the iliacus, the iliopsoas, which is the front of the hip area. You can come into a low lunge. So you can start in this position here where you have a knee over the hip and then a knee over the ankle. And it might be good to have some sort of support. You can start to walk that back leg back, and you'll be in this position, opening up the front of the hip. If you feel like that's painful for your knee, you can place a pillow underneath. You can also have something for leverage for your hand, or you can place both hands on that knee and really push your chest up. With this position, I'm not just sinking into my hip, I'm actually pushing down with that front heel to help give me a little bit of a lift. Because if you're sinking in, that might be putting your hips in too much of a stretch. When you apply pressure here, you're creating a structure, you're creating stability, which is all about the root chakra, creating stability and a nice foundation for the stretch. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. It's been a great pleasure to share this video with you. I hope you found that it was informative. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos regarding these topics. Have a great rest of your afternoon, and I will see you all next video.